Welcome to the Bridging Insider. I'm Kara, and when you're in pain, bridging is the way of resetting your micro movements to get you back to active. Returning today is Karen. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And we met Karen a month ago where she had been having some issues with her leg. She'd had some meniscus tear earlier in the year, like 6 months ago. And so we would work through relationships and how her leg was moving, but there's more, because the thing in her past was her leg had been in a cast from something when she was much younger. And so we'd work through part of the movement relationships, and there's another layer to those. But tell me before, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling a lot better, actually. I'm moving faster. I can do stairs now, and I couldn't before.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going up them better. I just started going down alternating stairs because I used to do like one at a time.
Yeah.
So that's actually the biggest deal for me because my daughter's in sports and I gotta walk up the bleachers.
Yeah. There's no rails on the bleachers. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's get to it. There are things that we normally check to get started. We're just gonna dive right in with working with her leg, and then we'll recheck afterward to make sure she's all centered and matched and all that good, happy stuff. And by the way, for those of you new to the channel, welcome. Love having you here. You're going to see all different examples of how disruptions in life have caused some pain or difficulty in moving maybe years later. And I'm Kara Lindell. I'm the founder of the Bridging Institute and the Bridging Technique. And all of what you're going to see derives from my unique background as a systems engineer and a movement specialist. And we look at how the physics of the body move, and when you support and guide and then reset those muscles, you're good to go. All right, on your side, and we're
right side?
On your right side, okay. So the left leg is what was broken.
Correct.
And so we're gonna prop that up. So our peanut balls, you may notice they look a little sad because they're a little underinflated, but that's for a reason, so that they provide a nice even support. I'm gonna move this up just a little bit. There we go. I don't want it feeling like it's falling. Okay, good?
Yes.
Okay, so I may have to move this again because a little bit more bend at her knee than what it would have been in the cast, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna use another peanut ball on top. We call this a peanut sandwich. But really, what I'm trying to do is support, like go back and kind of replicate some of the immobilization from the cast that she had, and just give her leg a big hug and let it kind of breathe, because all of this compression, even though it's very light, lets all the muscles relax. And then we have to get them moving again in very, very subtle ways. So what I'm doing right now, which Karen, you can feel this, I'm just very gently rocking back and forth. And I forgot to ask when we got started, but any part of this leg that you're hoping could be better, and you had told me.
My hip, so I go back and forth between like the joint of the hip hurting and then still the same pain that I had on my knee. But the pain that I had on my knee was primarily in the back, and now it's moving a little bit more towards the side and the front. So I think as my muscles get stronger, I'm feeling the strain in different places.
So if we can get her hip moving a little bit better, and I guess I should have tested that so we could see what the range of motion was to begin with, rather than just diving right into work. So sorry about that, but we will check it when we're done. It's always good to know that it changes, so we don't have a comparison on that. Oh well. So if you can tell, I'm actually starting to roll a little faster because her leg does roll a little faster. So as these muscles relax and kind of get their way about them to start working again, there's more motion that's available, and I can tell her hip is starting to move. In fact, your core is starting to move.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just this whole left side, we're gonna get roly-poly. And if it's really good, we'll get it wiggly-jiggly. But, okay, I feel like there's a lot of nice movement at the hip and the knee. I'm using my hands on the peanut like a rolling pin. If you have anybody done cookie dough, you put the pin down and then you have to roll it if it's just fresh out of the refrigerator. And so I'm not rolling over it like this. I'm holding and kind of like gears turning. And her whole core is actually starting to move. So it's almost like her leg is a handle to movement in the middle of her core, which is nice. But I kind of want to get more happening down in the leg itself. So I'm going to move this and bring her leg a little straighter. And at the hip, this position is called, it's neutral, but it's almost into extension. And that's extension is the leg behind us. We need that ability to extend when we're walking or running, because that's when the front leg goes out, the back leg is extended behind us. And I can tell your extent, like this is it. She's actually not really past what's called neutral. So we want to get more of that motion available to you so that you can walk more comfortably, and the back leg when you're going up and down stairs should have a little bit more range of motion to it.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I meant to tell you that I'm walking faster now since I saw you last.
Good.
Which is really nice.
Hopefully you're walking more then too.
Yes, I am walking more.
Oh, good. Yeah. Because walking, for those of you wondering what you should do for your overall wellness and health, you can start with walking. If you haven't been doing much, adding walking is one of the biggest benefits you can have to any aspect of your health. So kudos to you for getting more in.
It's easier now.
Yes, when it's easier. So that's one thing with bridging, with resetting muscles, so you can be more active. It's so you can actually be healthier, because when you feel better and move easier, you usually are more active, which is all about health. Okay, I feel like from about here down to her ankle is just really stiff.
You know, it's funny, my ankle's sore when you grabbed it, and I didn't realize it was sore until you touched it.
Yeah, so we're just gonna give this area itself a little hug and let it relax, and just add a tiny little movement to it, and see if that starts to chill out. So I see your hip moving, very nice. And I have to be patient with these. The cast was many years ago, and her poor muscles have been kind of faking it for a long time, and we have to wake them up. It's like they got put in hibernation. So, okay, there's your ankle moving. I'm moving it sideways, and now it's turning. So just a little bit more. You can almost think of using this peanut, and a little bit of motion is like melting, because it feels like the stiffness is just melting away. One common question that people ask is, okay, after you do this and get this motion restored, like how long does it last? And unlike most other modalities that you may have tried, like this is it. It's stuck from something that happened in the past, and we're getting it unstuck, and the body actually knows what to do with it. The next thing that Karen might bump into is what else is stuck next. But okay, when I turn your foot, I'm feeling it stuck at the knee, so we need to give knee a little support.
And it hurts there when you turn the ankle, it hurts the knee.
Yeah, can't have that. So again, with the name bridge, I'm putting a support in the middle, trying to connect her ankle movement to, there it goes, to her knee. And once the body's got that figured out with a little help, usually it is able to transition to doing that motion without help. And there you go. Yay. Does that hurt? No. Okay, so now let's see. If I lift, I'm going to support, just because this is all kind of new to these muscles again. I'm holding on the inside edge of her knee down to her ankle. I want to see where her hip goes. It goes back. Yay, that's what we were after, is that extension. And then I want to see what rotation is like. So I'm going to, again, holding at her knee, but I'm going to lift up and around. Yay, it works. Okay.
Sore right where your hand, where your hand is.
It needs that
support.
I'm a little,
yes. It's like guarded when you move it, but.
So tell you what, I'm gonna let it be for just a minute and grab a different support. And we often see the little peanuts if we're working through scar tissue. They provide really great localized support, but I'm gonna support the inside edge of her knee. almost like I'm playing a guitar, and help it turn. And so it's a softer support than my hand being there, but it's also broader because my hand was just right at the edge of the joint of where the knee bends, and this is straddling both sides. Does that feel okay as I'm moving it back and forth?
It does. What's interesting about that is I was just thinking there's no way you could have done that a month ago.
No.
I would not have. It would have hurt.
You didn't have enough muscles that knew what to do to support it. Wow, this is really moving very nicely, and the hip is just rolling right through. Okay. So what I want you to do is go on your back. I'm going to test something, and with each one. So you can put your right leg down. So I'm going to use this as a tool, roller, multi-purpose peanuts. So I'm going to roll her leg up. It's a spiral kind of transition, and this is what ends up being required for a squat. So if you're trying to bend down. So if I push from her foot with a little bit of a twist, there, she can get it. And it comes back. So we need to spiral in and spiral out. It worked. All right, let's see about the other leg because we want to make sure they match. And whoops, I put the roller the wrong way. It's not going to roll like that. All right, so up. So this one is easier. I'm going to come back to this one because I do want this relationship working well for you. So again, what needs some support is the same spot on the inside edge of her knee. So I'm just kind of waking it up a little bit more in there. A lot of transitions with muscles and ligaments and tendons that go from front side, back side, left and right. There we go. Okay, that feels almost as easy as the right side. So then I'm going to lift both legs and put this underneath your knees. There we go. And I just want to make sure that they fold and straighten equally. So I'm going to push from the feet. So again, if she's stepping somewhere, how does that motion flow up? Karen, that was really matched and really easy.
Oh, good.
Like I didn't have to lift and like just kind of flowed. Right, one more time.
So when you do that though, I do get like a clicking in this hip.
At that hip, huh? Well, let's give it a little support.
Yeah. I don't want to say that's normal for me, but that has been a thing, like a clicking in this hip.
Okay, so we're just going to support really quick and let it practice with a little help. That's how we learn new things. And up.
Oh, did you feel the click?
No, I didn't. Oh. Like sometimes all of that's inside and I don't.
It was a click like if you like crack your knuckles.
Oh, okay.
Like it wasn't bad. I just didn't like it.
So we're gonna push up. Oh, that's actually easier now.
Yeah.
And what's nice is your pelvis is shifting with it too. So some lower back and ab muscle interaction. Very nice. So abs have to squish up like an accordion, and then the muscles on your lower back have to stretch out. And they're actually doing that quite nicely. That could still be an effect from the cast, because if you couldn't do that on the left side, the right side's going to quit. Okay, last thing we're going to check is does all of you move both ways? I'm going to roll you toward me. And just a little bit. This is our bug roll. And as a whole, are we symmetric? So support your leg. Good. Feels pretty equal.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take this out, and you can sit up. And we'll give her a little recap. And let's just scoot over a little bit.
Sitting or standing?
You know, you can stand. Let's just make sure she moves really well standing. So I'm going to go side to side. Oh my gosh. Like last time you didn't move hardly at all, and now it's just like bouncy and easy. I think you have some dance. Whoa, look at that. And then forward and back. Yeah, so it's not just her knee, it's not just her hip, it's how everything, including her core. And I think that last bit that we did with getting that pelvis core piece shifting. I think that's actually what's changed this the most.
Well, I'm feeling differently standing right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling these muscles engaged. And before I would feel it in my hips. So there's definitely a change there.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Okay, so this was part 2 of resetting some muscles that were put in hibernation from a cast from breaking her leg years ago, and just getting more function out of the ankle, how the ankle turns and connects at the knee, how that connects to the hip, and then pair it up with the other leg, and then how that connects into the core. And it all just flows and bounces better. So it's a great example. At home, give Karen a big thumbs up. And for those of you who would love to be a guest, there's info in the show notes. Let us know. And we're in the north suburbs of Chicago. If you'd like a session on your own, we see people from across the country. They can fly in, or you might be local, so come on in. And those of you who may be interested in learning, we do teach, and a cohort will be starting later this year. So look for information on that too. Thank you for being here. It was such a cool example of something that affects a lot of people. And I hope you continue with your walking.
Oh, I'm going to walk a lot. Yeah, I really appreciate the help.
You're welcome. Okay, and subscribe to the channel. Bye now.